Yo, what's up? This is Sarcastic Sounds. And this is how I did the production on Eyes Blue Like the Atlantic, Part 2.
Like the Atlantic and I'm going down, going down.
So, first of all is, of course, the samples. There's two of them in here, and the first one is Ollie MN singing in a vine, and he's the male voice that you hear.
Eyes blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down like the Titanic.
Then the second one is a girl named Suburb singing over top of that vine, and it sounds like this. She harmonizes with it.
Blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down.
Right, so I basically added a bunch of effects and sped up both of them to sound like this.
Skies blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down like the Titanic. Skies blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down, going down.
And basically what you're hearing there is just, there's some reverb on it, a retro color, which is a plugin that makes things sound more vintage and old, obviously EQ, compression, distortion, shit like that, and there's that little filter sweep as well.
Going down, going down.
Just transition from the male voice, or from the female vocal to the male vocal. Next, we have the drums, and so the first drums that come in are the hat and snap.
Skies blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down.
And that's just a hat, 4 on the floor, snaps. And then when the verse comes in, the hat pattern changes to this. So we've just changed the sequencing, and then we've also added a reverse hat and an open hat. And then there's the drum loop. Pretty simple, it's just a snare, 2 kicks, a clap, and a sound of a bottle breaking. The next thing I did was add the guitar, which sounds like this. I just recorded into my mic. You can kind of hear me breathing a little bit, which is not intentional, but whatever. I recorded it with this guitar. It's a very old, shitty guitar that my parents got me when I was like 6 years old. I haven't used it in forever, but the reason that I used it for this was because it has nylon strings, and I knew I wanted nylon strings because they're a lot more chill and soft and easy on the ears and aren't overbearing. So I used that and just kind of made it work, and I had to EQ it a bunch because it's a very bad guitar. Same sort of effects on this as with the sample. There's also a static sound, of course, and rain sound. And these are essentials for any self-respecting lo-fi producer. Then about 4 bars into the verse, these shakers come in. It's a very ugly shaker sound, but it works for the song, I guess. And you can hear it pans left and then right every time it hits, and that's just a thing I do a lot with my percussion, and it just keeps you guessing. And there's this bass line. And that is just played on a sound font that I got from Reddit years ago. And it's really just a sub bass with some extra like weird frequencies in there and stuff. I like it. It's I use it in a lot of songs. Then at the end of the verse, this little piano part comes in. And that is basically just comes in when the sample drops out, and it's just to give it a bit of a switch up, give the listeners a break from the sample for a little bit. And I actually clicked in all these notes manually and then just edited the velocity of each note to make it sound natural because I can't play the keys really. So I just, I clicked all those notes in. And then that's the end of the verse, and it goes back into the hook.
Skies blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down, going down. Skies blue like the Atlantic and I'm going.
So you hear that little drop there, and the first thing you hear is this tom fill, which is again just clicked into the piano roll. And then there's the E pianos, and there's two of them. The first one is on a plugin called MDA E Piano, which is a free plugin that you can find on the internet. Sounds like that. Again, same sort of effects as everything else. And then there's another one with using the FL Studio stock electric piano. It's playing the same part, except it's obviously a different sound, and it is stereo shaped so that it is stereo separated coming on the left and the right, and it sort of fills out the whole sound and sits nicely with the other one to give the to give the entire part more body, really. And then the bass line changes to just follow the root note of the chords, just to keep things simple. And there's this little chime hit, which I love and I use all the time. It sounds like a dinner bell almost, and it's very cute and I like it. That's actually everything for the hook. And then the last thing in the song is just this little bell melody. I think Rxseboy said he wanted bells, so I just made that little melody. I did it using Expand 2, which is a cheap plugin you can get online again. Same sort of effects, everything else, again, but with some delay as well. And that's really the entire song. There's not that much to it. Basically, all the parts just sort of come in and out at various different points in the song to keep it moving, keep it varied. But it's not that many parts. And yeah, that's about it, and I hope you enjoyed it, and peace.
Eyes blue like the Atlantic, and I'm going down, going down.
Yeah, I'm still going down. I'll be falling for a long time. I so innocent, I didn't know you had a bad side.